This is Jenny. Jenny is an ordinary person just like you and me. She wakes up in the morning and eats her breakfast. She likes French toast and orange juice. She goes through her day like us and goes to sleep like us. Jenny, however, has made a mistake. Jenny said that farmers are all dumb, that they're racist hillbillies, and they mess things up for everybody else. Looking at the situation, Jenny is clearly in the wrong. She said something dumb, and if she's not corrected, she'll assume it's an okay thing to say and an okay opinion to have. So, of course, this is where you come in. Maybe you've seen an opinion like hers before, or you're really sensitive about this topic, but whatever the case, you come at her aggressively. Maybe you'll say something like, "That's an incredibly privileged take. I'm honestly astonished at how dumb you'd have to be to say that." Just for an example of a relatively mild but still aggressive approach. Of course, you could say that you'd come off as less aggressive and more of just informing her, but that wouldn't hammer in the lesson, would it? So you've released your anger on a Jenny. How will she respond now? Well, there's three things she can do. She can choose to own up and apologize, which you expect her to, ignore you, which shows that she is unrepentant, or she can try to rebuke you, which shows that she's shameless and cruel. If Jenny apologizes to you, then no doubt she'll do so with resentment, because for her it seems like she was hit with so much hatred over something seemingly so small. She doesn't know about everything you've seen about farmers online. She doesn't know you just had a heated debate over this topic. She just knows that you came at her looking for blood and backed her into a wall, almost to extort an apology. But still, she knows that she was in the wrong, and so she'll apologize. Maybe you'll accept it, or maybe you won't, but regardless, the incident has ended. Of course, if she's a bit more stubborn and unwilling to be just almost insulted at random, then maybe she'll choose to say something like, "What is even that big of a deal? You're making a mountain out of a molehill, you know." And now you'll feel justified in being so mean towards her at first. She's minimizing the issue and doesn't have any shame at all. Maybe this will descend into a shouting match, but the end result is that, even if she feels guilty for what she did, she'll still come to resent you and feel that you hate her. But it's worth it, right? Didn't you need to be taught that lesson? If she was someone who didn't believe in the same things as you, though, then she won't even have a reason to feel bad, but just laugh at you or argue back. In this case, she won't feel ashamed, and you have only antagonized her against you and your point of view further. Still, she's a bad person, so there was no hope in saving her anyways, right? Are we starting to see the problem? No matter how Jenny responds, there's now friction between you two, and indeed, you'll have to be pretty lucky if she even owns up at all. If someone came up to you like that, would you really be so willing to just get down on your knees and beg to be forgiven? If not, why would you expect Jenny to? Of course, this is by no means bullying, this is just being mean to her. Um, if you really wanted to hammer in the lesson, then you need to mistreat her for a long time, just to have her really understand the error of her ways. But just between two people, that's not likely to happen. Luckily, in order for Jenny to learn her lesson, you've brought two of your good friends, Connie and Maddie. Now, Connie and Maddie have been given a rough briefing of the situation. Their first response obviously isn't to talk to Jenny, but rather to you and each other. Maybe the three of you will spend a while talking about what a piece of crap she is and how she should be ashamed. All within earshot of her, of course, because who cares about what Jenny thinks? She's a sinner. The three of you keep talking, and in the collective consciousness of the three of you, you've already built up a version of Jenny that only you three see. She's bigoted, evil, unrepentant, and a problematic manipulator. After you've agreed upon this and expressed how much you hate her, the three of you turn on her. You say, "You should apologize now before this gets out of hand. There's no place in society for messed up people like you." Connie says, "My uncle's a farmer. I think he would be extremely disappointed to know that there are pieces of crap like you who belittle him and don't respect his work." Maddie says, "Farmers give us all our food. If you don't like them, then aren't you the kind who wants everyone to die? Why should someone like you even be allowed to have an opinion?" If Jenny is truly aware what she said was wrong, maybe she'll apologize. Maybe she'll do the equivalent of giving up her lunch money just for the humiliation to come to an end. From your point of view, what you're saying is perfectly reasonable because your impression of evil Jenny and the Jenny in real life are one and the same. But Jenny has no way of knowing how horrible and messed up evil Jenny is, or even that an evil Jenny exists at all. So all this cruelty directed at evil Jenny, who doubtlessly deserves it, falls upon Jenny and Jenny alone. Even if she apologizes, so what? No doubt she's just a manipulator trying to get people to forget about her problematic behavior, or she's trying to garner sympathy from others, so the three of you will go at her even harder, mocking her pathetic attempts to gaslight you. It makes sense. Why would somebody like evil Jenny ever actually own up? Maybe Jenny will be desperate to show that she's sorry, that she didn't truly mean it. She doesn't understand why you three won't understand her, even though she's already opened up herself to the world to show she never truly meant any harm. But that doesn't matter at all, right? After all, the Jenny you're seeing is evil Jenny, who's behaving erratically for no reason, who's trying to manipulate you into stopping. So why give her what she wants? Maybe if Jenny was someone who hated farmers and wanted to replace them all with robots, she'd just spit on the ground and leave. She'd complain to other anti-farmer people about how stupidly violent you people are and think that people who are pro-farmer are all just cruel thugs who want to see anyone who disagrees with them dead, but what does her opinion matter? If it's that kind of a Jenny, then she doubtlessly does deserve whatever's coming for her. Unfortunately, our Jenny isn't that kind of person. The next section will be a little graphic, so if you don't want to hear about that kind of thing, please skip to this timestamp. Jenny's someone who won't ever accept being humiliated publicly like that, but she still feels white-hot shame burning up in her chest. Even if she apologizes, the pressure the three of you put on her won't ever stop. So, she does the unthinkable. Jenny's body lies on the ground. Even though it's been some time, the pool of blood around her still hasn't fully dried, and every step nearby sends faint ripples into it. A few people who have already gathered nearby, and in the sky there are circling vultures, irritated that the gathering crowd disturbed their feast. This is what you wanted, right? Someone as messed up as her deserved this, right? Connie says, honestly, she was acting so erratically. I'm just glad she didn't try to come after us. She was definitely crazy enough to do that. Maddie says, I'm so creeped out. I can't believe that we were dealing with someone this messed up. We were in danger the whole time. But still, it's not our fault. We were just unlucky enough to get tangled with the freak. You don't say anything. You walk forwards towards Jenny and see that she is looking upwards, almost staring directly into your eyes. Her hair is disheveled, and the tears running down her face have long dried up. Her arm is outstretched, her hand clawed, as if to drag you down to hell, her spiteful gaze fixated onto you. But she's rigid and cold and won't ever be able to reach out to grasp you. If you had a single chance to go back and do something else, would you take it? Maybe you would. Maybe you'll say something like, that's probably not a great thing to say about farmers. They give us a lot of food, so it's probably not a great idea to talk about them that way. After all, wouldn't we want to be treated that way if we were Jenny?